You ever wonder about the magic that happens when you click on a link? I mean, in a split second, a blank screen just explodes into this vibrant, interactive world. Well, today, we're going to pull back that curtain. We're going to demystify the entire thing.
So think of it this way. We're going to follow the hero's journey of a single click. It's like a tiny packet of data on this epic quest. It starts in your browser, travels across the whole internet to some server, and then all the way back to your screen with whatever you asked for. This incredible journey, it happens billions of times a day. And today, we're going to trace every single step.
All right, let's dive in. Our journey begins the very instant you click that mouse. We're starting from your screen, our home base, and heading out into the wild to track down that content.
Okay, so here's the map for our whole quest. It all kicks off with your click, right? That tells your browser to look up an address in the internet's giant address book. Then your browser sends out a formal request, which zips over to its destination, the server. The server figures out what you want, sends a response back, and poof, the content appears. Simple, right? Now let's break down some of the really cool parts.
First up, the DNS, or Domain Name System. And you know what? The concept is actually super simple. Just think of DNS as the internet's phone book. We humans are great at remembering names, like Google.com. But computers, they need numbers, these IP addresses, to find each other. So DNS is just that crucial translator that looks up the name you typed and finds the right number, so our request knows exactly where it's going.
So, our request is traveling from a client to a server. What's the difference? Well, the client is your browser. It's everything you see and touch on your device. Kind of like the storefront. The server, on the other hand, is the big, powerful computer somewhere else. It's the brain in a data center holding all the goods. It's the warehouse and the back office all in one. And this chart really nails it. Your browser can't just wander into the warehouse. It has to ask the server politely for what it wants.
Okay, so for the client and the server to even understand each other, they have to speak the same language. This isn't just random bits of data flying around. No, it's a very structured conversation with very specific rules.
And that conversation is managed by something called an API. Now, the absolute best way to understand an API is to think of it like a restaurant menu. Seriously, the menu tells you exactly what you can order from the kitchen, or in our case, the server. You can get user data or post a new comment. You don't need to know how the chef in the kitchen makes the food, you just need to know what's on the menu. And here's what an actual order from that menu looks like. It's a simple REST request. Get is the action, what you want to do, and API/users/123 is the specific thing you're ordering. It's basically you saying, hey, can I please get the data for the user with ID number 123? It's that clean and simple. And boom, here's the dish, served right up from the kitchen. The server packs up the info you wanted into a format called JSON. What's so great about JSON is that it's super lightweight, machines can understand it perfectly, and honestly, it's pretty easy for us humans to read too. You can see you got back exactly what you asked for, the ID, name, and email for user 123. Now your browser has all the ingredients it needs to put the page together for you. So we've seen the whole journey of a click, we've seen the language the computers use. But who builds all this stuff? The roads, the destinations, the menus? Well, that would be web developers. And now we're going to take a peek inside their essential toolkit.
The main workshop for any developer is their code editor, and one of the biggest ones out there is VS Code. It is loaded with superpowers. It has IntelliSense, which is basically autocomplete for your code on steroids. It has a built-in terminal so you can command your computer without ever leaving the editor. This is really where the magic is built.
Now let's talk about maybe the most critical tool of them all, Git. The best way to think of Git is as a time machine for your code. I'm serious. Every single change gets tracked and saved as a snapshot. Did you just make a huge mistake and break everything? No sweat. Just hop in your time machine and go back to a version that worked. It's the ultimate safety net, and it's the absolute foundation of how teams work together today.
And using this time machine is actually a pretty simple four-step process. First, you make your changes in your working directory. Then, you pick which changes you want to save. That's the staging area. Think of it like putting specific items in a box before you tape it up. Next, you commit that snapshot to your local history. That's sealing the box. And finally, you push it to a shared remote place, basically shipping the box off for the whole team to use.
So how do developers actually use all these powerful tools? A lot of the time, it's with the command line. Now, I know, it can look super intimidating, like something out of an old hacker movie, but it's really a developer's magic wand. It's a super fast, direct way to talk to the computer. As you can see here, a command like mkdir is just a magic spell for make a new folder.
It's all about speed and precision. Okay, so we've gone on this whole journey of a click. We've looked at the developer's toolbox, but why? Why does understanding all this stuff actually matter? Let's connect the dots here, because these foundations are absolutely crucial for a successful career in tech.
Just look at this. This is a tale of two different projects. Life without a tool like Git is just pure chaos. I mean, we've all been there, right? Emailing files named final v2 back and forth, terrified that one little change is going to break everything. But life with Git is organized, it's safe, it's collaborative. Understanding these tools isn't just a nice to have, it's the difference between chaos and clarity.
And that brings us to the most important part, what this means for you. Mastering these fundamentals is going to directly impact your success. You'll be able to ace job interviews because, trust me, these topics always come up. You'll solve complex problems way faster because you actually get the whole picture, from the front end to the back end. This knowledge is literally the launchpad for everything else you're going to learn in your career. And that really brings us to our final takeaway. These foundations aren't just nice to have, they are the bedrock of modern development. Every shiny new framework, every new technology, it's all built on top of these core principles. Master them, and you're not just learning to write code, you're learning how to build the future of the web. So, what are you going to build first?